close enough. I'm Eric Allen. Here with
And
Joe
I'm Joe
Drilling.
Drilling.
What's up, Joe?
What's up, man?
It's October. We're streaming horror
Yeah.
games. We're playing a
Yeah.
spooky Genesis game.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know how spooky it is. It's Ghostbusters. That's not a particularly scary movie.
No. Although the Ghost in the Library did scare me when I was a little kid.
Yeah, that's the scariest part of the whole film. It's mostly silly and good.
Yeah.
Sound test. All right. It's pretty good. Pretty good rendition of the Ghostbusters theme. Peter is normal and normal. Raymond is slow and high. I don't know if I've ever seen him referred to as Raymond.
Right.
Also, there's no Winston in this game.
Of course there's not. There's never a Winston. I played New Ghostbusters 2 on Monday night, and
It says press trigger, but
there
it's not doing
is
anything.
a Winston. Did you not map your buttons?
No, there's no trigger on the fucking Genesis
Oh,
controller.
gotcha. Yeah, right.
Is this based on an arcade game or something?
It is not. This is an original Genesis creation. Published by Sega and developed by Compile,
Okay.
who
They've made some weird stuff.
they have made some really good stuff recently. When they closed their doors and then reopened as Compile Heart and have made like some sort of skeevy dating games, quote unquote, that kind of stuff, which I'm not super into. But when they were regular Compile, they made Puyo Puyo. They made Aleste and all of
Buddy
the
House,
games. that
Apartment,
sort of-
Home Sweet Home. I guess I'll start at Home Sweet Home since that's.
You should start at Home Sweet Home. Because you want to make some money to buy some new weapons before you go to the harder stages. So there's a total of 6 stages. You can take the first 4 in any order, and then the last 2.
Okay. I've only ever played 3 Ghostbusters games.
Which 3?
The NES one, which is a pretty bad game.
It's a pretty bad port of a decent Commodore 64 game, yeah.
I played the Atari 2600 version of that game.
Which is possibly a better
It's
port than the NES version.
Better than the NES version, for sure.
But
Better
it's also
being a
not
relative
great
term.
port.
It's still not good.
Right.
Although I really enjoy the scene where you fight the Ghostbusters logo outside of the skyscraper in the Atari version. That's very good. But it doesn't have the stair climbing stuff that is so infamously terrible in the NES game.
Right, and that stuff was the Master System version. If you ever get a chance to play the Master System port, is arguably the best version of that David Crane Ghostbusters game.
He's the Boy and His Blob guy, right?
He is. He's the Pitfall guy, the Boy and His Blob guy,
And
the old school Ghostbusters.
I guess
guy.
you can't win them all. Because those other 2 games are very good. And that Ghostbusters game is kind of trash.
I mean, again, the NES version is trash, but I think the Master System version is fairly playable. It's not a great game. It's not
as good as A Boy and His Blob or Pitfall.
or Pitfall. No, it's not. But
Or Pitfall 2.
yeah, or really, maybe any of the Well, it's probably better than some of the Pitfall games.
There's some bad Pitfall games on the PlayStation. Oh shit, that fell right down.
The one where Bruce Campbell voices Pitfall Harry Jr. or whatever.
Yeah.
That one is not. That's not very good.
Not very good. The third Ghostbuster game that I've played some of is, or actually I think I might have played all the way through it. I can't remember. It was the Ghostbusters Return.
The one for
Yeah, the one that came out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and PC and stuff. That game is actually like kind of halfway decent.
Yeah, the game's pretty good. I never finished it, but it was fine. I liked what I played with it.
It's definitely like it got very repetitive at a certain point where you're just kind of doing the same things over and over and over again. But it was kind of fun to see those guys get together and do a thing, even if the vocal performances were kind of mailed in for the most part. Do I have to kill this thing? Is it any point in doing this?
Have to kill it? No, I don't think you have to. You can. I think it might drop something. I don't remember.
Man, this thing's a fucking bullet sponge.
Yeah, it is.
So what's up with this version of the game? Made by Compile.
So Compile did it for Sega, as like this was part of like Sega's early U.S. strategy. I don't know if this game even came out in Japan. It may have, but Sega's early strategy in the U.S. was really to affix like recognizable brands. Like they basically spent a bunch of money to penetrate the U.S. market. You know, you can shoot up too, by the way.
Okay.
So standing under it, but I don't remember. It might not even be worth
the time investment.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of like determined. Oh shit. Good death animation.
Each Ghostbuster has a unique death animation, if I remember correctly.
Although this Pete Venkman sprite is a little dour even for Bill Murray. All right, I'm done. I quit. No, I'm not giving up. Fuck it. Never give in.
So, yeah, Sega's big push was
Alright, I can't. I must
get
not
as
be
many
able to
recognizable faces. I think it might be a thing where you just shoot it several times, like in one appearance. Like it recharges its health in between when it disappears in the wall. I don't remember. It's been a couple years since I've played this. So Man, and they licensed the Ghostbusters, and they got a deal with Joe Montana, and they got a deal with Pat Riley, and they got a deal with Tommy Lasorda, and you know, all that stuff in a bid to be like relevant in the U.S. And it actually worked fairly well.
This thing is creepier than most of the things that were actually in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it is. Although, why is it a rat and not a rabbit? Is the thing that I've always wondered about. Or is it just a really shitty
looks like a teddy bear,
rabbit?
actually, to me. But I guess it's more like a rat because of the... it doesn't have rat teeth, though.
Yeah, I guess. So this was part of that whole strategy, was just like get some recognizable faces and put them on your video game machine, and get the kids to want your stuff because it's associated with cool people like you know, Pat Riley and Tommy Lasorda and the Ghostbusters.
And Joe Montana.
And Joe Montana.
It was right around the time he made that cool I have to go upstairs and masturbate joke on Saturday Night Live.
I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
He hosted Saturday Night Live. That's like one of the most infamous early 90s episodes of Saturday Night Live.
I only remember the episode that Joe Montana hosted, where he made a joke about like some kid in the front row gets really upset because he thinks Joe Montana is hosting, and then Joe Montana is like, nobody walks out on Joe Montana.
Oh shit.
But I don't remember Joe Montana actually hosting. But yeah, this is an attempt to be hip with the kids.
What's this infrared scope do?
There's a level where it's dark and you need it to see.
I don't need that right now, then.
And you need to buy like 10 of them.
Explosives, bowl, projectile, energy tank. Is any of this stuff worth it? Energy tank? I can't afford any of it. Never mind.
You can't afford any of it right now, but yes, it's worth it.
Okay.
The triple shot is gonna be your sort of your basic upgrade. The energy tanks will give you more special weapon energy. So when you get the triple shot and when you get the shell is like a boss killer weapon. It's not super useful on regular enemies, but it like takes out bosses really quickly.
Ouch.
So that's what you're gonna use all that stuff for. I don't know if they all have, now that I think about it, I think they might all have the same death animation when they turn into mummies, but when they take a hit, they all have different animations.
Okay. I'll try a different Ghostbuster in a minute here.
So this was really part of that, and Sega got some really talented developers in some cases, and some less talented to make all those games, but in this case it was Compile, and this game is really weird. It's very standalone. It's not directly based on either movie. It came out the same year as Ghostbusters 2, but it's not based on Ghostbusters 2.
Right.
It's missing Winston, so that's weird, as so many Ghostbusters games are. It's Slimer always drops power-ups, by the way. Whenever you see Slimer, you want to try to get him because he drops either health or weapon energy. So yeah, so I mean it's and I think this is honestly like probably my favorite Ghostbusters game. Because as you said, the David Crane developed one. Even the good versions of that game are like kind of weak.
Yeah, not a lot.
And the like you said about the newer one, it gets kind of repetitive, like pretty quickly. So this is probably my favorite Ghostbusters game.
Oh, I'm sucking butts here.
Yeah, the characters all look for the time. They all look pretty true to the actors who portrayed them.
Yeah, they're SD versions of the Ghostbusters.
Yep. You're mobile, like you know, as you
you can duck and crawl, and your jump's pretty reliable, and
yep.
you have really good air control, and
yeah, you got some cool weapon power-ups once you start being able to afford them. There's one point, there's a frozen level where you can kind of like leech money. Like you can walk in and there's like a pretty good sized bag of money that's not that far from the door.
Oh, damn it.
And so one of the strategies that people use is like you go in, you grab the bag of money, which takes like 30 seconds, and then you walk out and just keep going back into the level and back out.
Damn it.
Grind money. You don't have to do that, but it's something that a lot of people do. This
It even seems like this easy level is sort of designed to get you once or twice, and then get you to
absolutely
grab a power up and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, damn it.
So these middle boss, so you don't have to face these mini bosses, but you get a lot more money if you do, because you do have to face them, but you don't have to catch them, I believe. So once you kill this thing, it's a sort of Slimer type ghost, and you get the actual like regular proton pack, and you have to pull it into a trap. And if you do that, then you get like, I don't remember, like $1,000 extra when you finish the level.
Oh man!
So you want to try to do that.
It's $1,600. So energy tank doesn't do anything for me yet. I might as well just save up for a.
Yeah, the three-way shot or the phaser shell are really the one. Those are the two items that are going to be the most useful. The three-way shot is going to be useful. The phaser shot is going to be useful for bosses. The three-way shot is going to be useful for the regular moment-to-moment action. And then the energy tanks are going to be useful in keeping those charged up.
Bubble shot's not so good.
Bubble shot is not so good. I mean, it's fine, but I don't find it to be worth the money.
I don't know if this is really ghost-busted music here.
I mean, I do like that. You're right. It doesn't sound like music from the movie. It doesn't sound like Ray Parker Jr., but I like the soundtrack to this game. It's one of those like good Genesis. It doesn't sound just like like squonks and farts.
It's true. Yeah, no, it sounds fine. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel thematically appropriate for.
Yeah, no,
shooting
it really doesn't.
This sounds like more like something you would expect from like a spunky kind of adventure game.
Right.
Nope. Oh my god.
But I really like the level design in this game. Like it's like this level is a little more linear, because it's the one you're supposed to play first, but. Later levels have they're almost like tiny Metroidvanias, like in and of them, like self-contained, like it's like there's different paths, and you have a map on your. If you pause, there's a map, and.
Oh yeah, like a grid map.
Yep, and
oh, that's wrong.
Once the levels get bigger, that's a lot more useful.
Wow, this dude does just crazy fucking damage.
Yeah. Stocking up on bombs might not be though, because they're only like $100 a piece, I think. That may not be the worst if you lose all your lives again. That may not be the worst idea to just grab like
yeah,
a bunch of bombs and
got him. Oh, I have to shoot up at an angle here. There we go. I have to hit him like a bunch of times.
No, you have to drag him into the trap.
Oh. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, there we go. Okay.
You hold the button and...
Oh, shit. I guess I wasn't fast enough?
Yeah, if he'll fly away if you don't.
Oh, man, it would be nice if this was some health. Yeah.
The mute key says, so who you gonna call?
I'm gonna call this guy. He woke me up just when I was sleeping good. I'm mean when I'm tired. Oh no! I don't have enough health to fight you. Leave me alone. I'm sorry.
Are you really sorry?
I am now. I guess I didn't realize that I was getting into a... I guess that's what that symbol on the door meant.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm not making much progress here. Action start. Can I go back to the what stage select thing if I exit, or?
I think so. Yeah, I think if you leave, you can go back to the stage select.
No, it just keeps me in here.
You could change levels. You could leave and change levels, but maybe not. Kurt Adam has joined us here.
I have.
The Ray to our Egon and Peter. Kurt Adam.
Can he be Winston? Can we at least have like somebody that's kind of a Winston?
Wow.
And he's not black.
That somehow implies that I don't have much of a role, is what you're saying?
Winston was my favorite character in those movies when I was a kid.
Me too.
One of my favorite scenes, probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, is when he's on the train, or in the second movie at least, is when he's on the train tracks and the thing goes Winston, and he turns to look and gets hit by the train. That's probably the best scene in Ghostbusters 2.
Ends in both movies. In the first one, he says that's a big Twinkie, which is fantastic.
That's true.
I'll believe if there's a steady paycheck in it. I'll believe anything you say.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I've seen shit that will turn you white. I mean, I guess Bill Murray has like the best lines in it because he has yes, it's true, this man has no dick.
Yeah.
And a lot of that really great stuff, but Winston has some really great lines and some really
She sleeps above the bed 4 feet, above the covers.
Above the
4
covers.
feet.
What?
Above
Oh, that's
the
some
covers.
bullshit. That's some bullshit.
The door that goes and then the wall, there's a wall
And then there's like
behind.
no door
Yep.
on the other side.
Yep.
I was like, I thought maybe I'd missed a room or something, but it just took me
Nope.
back to the first room.
Beginner's trap, which is kind of bullshit, but that's how they made them back in the day.
Ugh.
Yeah, Ghostbusters, pretty good movie.
Did
I
you
still
guys
haven't
end up?
seen the new one,
I was going to ask if
actually.
either of you have seen the new one. I obviously
I wanted
haven't
to see
because
it.
I never see
I have.
movies. Did you like it? It seemed like it
I
was pretty
liked it
good.
a lot. Yeah.
Had a good cast.
Kate
Yeah.
McKinnon is fantastic in it.
Kate McKinnon is fantastic,
Yeah.
more or less all the time.
Oh, that
Yeah,
mini boss
she's-
is still gone.
Definitely got a
Good shit.
good track record.
Yeah, I wanted to see it when it was in the theater, and I never did. And then after it got out of then, like if you don't see a movie in the theater, the urgency is sort of lost. I
Sure.
feel
It's like I'll wait and catch this on Netflix or Amazon
Right.
or something.
I will
Right.
eventually watch this somehow, and I still haven't got the movie.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds like from the people I know who took the movie on its own,
Right. That
on
is
its
a thing
own
you have to do.
merits. It sounds like it was at least as good as, if not better than, Ghostbusters 2, which is not.
That's not a particularly high bar. I don't know. I like Ghostbusters 2 all right.
Ghostbusters 2 is fine, but Ghostbusters 1 is much better than Ghostbusters 2, and really,
Sure.
if there's another Ghostbusters movie that's better than Ghostbusters 2, I'm fine.
Did that do nothing to that guy?
You can only hurt him when his scales are all off.
Yeah, I thought I was...
Oh yeah, the bomb. Sorry, I hadn't seen you just throw a bunch of bombs. But yes, I do believe that the bombs hurt the bosses.
Ugh.
Yeah, so this game also, you're probably not going to make it there tonight, I don't imagine, but the final stage has a totally bullshitty boss rush where you have to face all of the stage bosses again.
Man, this is tough.
Which is just complete hot shit garbage.
I'll give it one more shot here.
One more shard.
One more shot. I want to try a different character in a different stage.
Yeah.
This game is pretty good, though.
Yeah.
For sure. I would like to see some of the other weapons as well.
Yeah.
Is there always a bomb in here? No, there wasn't any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that the safes are semi-random.
Some of this stuff is a little shitty, like those chandeliers kind of drop candles randomly.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult to wait it out and. All right, I really don't need to see this. Unskippable cutscenes, am I right, guys?
Always bullshit.
Okay, so I can shoot the scales when they start to spin. But really, I just want to
Yes.
get in here and dump on this dude.
Yes.
Hang on one second. Okay. Ugh. Well, I forgot I had
you
a
have
duck.
a duck.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
use
have a
that.
duck.
Oh, shit. He jumps. Oh, suck it. Dragon plant. Oh. It's a very elaborate death animation.
I think most of the bosses
Daily
have,
Sega News.
fairly-
Ghost Cops bust 15th Street spook. Is there a video game called Ghost Cops where he plays a cop that's a ghost? There is, actually. It's called Murdered Soul Suspect. It's a stealth adventure action thing that came out a couple of years ago. And it's actually, surprisingly pretty fucking good.
Didn't you give that to Mike for
I
Christmas?
did give that to Mike. It might have been 2 years ago, but I genuinely like that game. It's not great or anything, but it's a pretty good detective story, and it gets pretty silly and weird in some places. There's some action stealth sequences that kind of suck, but they are easy enough until you get to the very last one or two that it really doesn't affect it. When it's just an adventure game where you're just walking around in downtown Salem as a ghost and walking through buildings and talking to weird ghosts. It's pretty fucking cool.
How does it compare to Ghost Trick?
When
it comes to ghost detecting,
it's not as good as Ghost Trick.
Well, that bar's kind of high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So should I buy the phaser shell, or should I wait and just get the 3-way shot first?
I would probably wait and get the 3-way shot.
Okay. Come on back now, whenever you feel like it. All right, let's start this action. And I assume that the money value determines the difficulty of each level, correct?
Yes, correct.
Right now, I'm living in an apartment.
Mr. Stay Puffed,
When I woke up, this
if you want
place
to see
was
Mr. Stay Puffed,
water.
the high rise is where you want to go.
Okay.
The Woody House is like, yeah, the Woody House is that's the dark level, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And
Is that the one I just picked?
no,
Okay.
you pick the ice level,
Oh, great.
which I mean you can farm for money here, if you
Ah.
want to do that, but.
Is this the thing that always drops money?
No, I think it's straight. If you from when you come in, I don't think you have to actually like climb up the ladders and stuff.
Alright, I'll go check that out. Is there any codes for this?
I don't believe so. I will double check that.
This is like some fucking Mega Man music. This is good as hell.
Yeah, I think it's that safe. The one that you just climbed up the ladder and shot. I think that's the one that like you can just go in and then go back out. And it's always, or mostly always drops money if you're so inclined. But it's
Also, this definitely, even this song, which is really good, also sounds like something out of a an action adventure kind of a game.
Oh no, it's actually, I'm sorry, it is the high rise, not the apartment. Go to the high rise and take, that's the only cheat that it shows on game packs. Go to the high rise and take the money from the safe right away, exit, re-enter, and keep doing it until you have as much money as you need. So.
Ouch.
And now the Lewis Tully to our Peter, Egon, and Ray, Mike Ailes has joined the...
I haven't. What the hell am I looking at?
It's Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters on Sega Genesis. I thought that would have been obvious by the giant Ghostbusters symbol in the corner, but...
That's unfortunate.
What?
I don't know, this looks real cheap.
It's pretty good, actually.
Okay, well I'm glad it plays better than it looks.
I mean, it's a 1989...
Yes, it is a. This is like a
Mike.
super early.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it was so early in the life cycle. In that case, the photorealistic Bill Murray is just even more impressive.
Am I supposed to like tap the button to suck him in, or?
No, you can hold it. You just have to like, it's all about sort of spacing.
Ugh. Okay, I have to get him closer here. There we
Yeah,
go.
you just get them closer.
Ah,
The animation on the ghost is pretty cute.
yeah. Damn. I thought I had him, but I don't know. I guess I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm supposed to do there. Whatever, I beat that boss on the first try. He was a lot easier than the other boss. Also, I'm more familiar with the mechanics, but...
Y Signal says, I heard this was one of the better Ghostbusters games. That is correct. This is one of the better Ghostbusters games. Which is
The Ghostbuster
admittedly
game is
a...
supposed to be pretty good.
Which one?
The Wii one.
Yeah, I guess it's, I mean, it's the same as the 360.
What?
And
Am I supposed to do
PS3
something special to
one.
get through this door?
Yes, that's the
Yeah, that
boss
one's-
door. You have
that
to get
one's
all the
decent.
rest of the... You have to get all the rest of the mini bosses before you can
Oh,
go
there
through that
must
door.
be more than one in this level.
Yeah, and the see in the bottom lower right, you got those two ghosts. One has a red X through it. That's how many mini
Oh, okay, I
bosses
see.
you have to hunt down and take care of before you can fight the boss.
This map doesn't... I guess I have to figure out... I guess I just have to go to where I haven't been yet, and then...
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's pretty good, right? Like... The fact that there is a map that is useful and the levels are a little bit more involved than... Oh, shit. Is this the other mini-boss? No, I guess not. He's dying a little too easily.
The music changes, I think. Oh yeah, no, that thing's not.
Yeah.
The music changes though when you get to.
Yeah, there probably isn't. He's probably in a room like all the other ones.
Yep.
It's safe up there. I don't think I care enough. There it is. What the hell's going on? Thanks, guys. Oh, I guess I have to wait until they clear it all out. What? Open shop. Oh, I'm still a little short. Where am I going? Alright, I'm just gonna buy this thing and try it out.
Which one? The.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta,
may as
shut this
well, I
down
guess,
pretty
right?
soon. Do I have to do anything special to use the other gun?
You go to the pause menu and you switch.
Okay.
Switch weapons from there.
Okay, I see. But that has a limited energy, right?
Right.
Let's see if I can find that other boss.
So again, this weapon you don't want to use too much of it because it is really effective against bosses. So
Yeah, I'm like, I'll save the energy. So I can get to the boss, I suppose. Unless, was that the
now
boss?
Slimer, no. You were close though.
Okay.
And now Slimer will drop energy refills as well. Red dots, like blue dots are life, and red dots are weapon energy from Slimer. So.
Where did I think I was up here? Around this way. There we
So
go.
did you know that there is a real Ghostbusters Game Boy game that is like yet another entry in the Crazy Castle series?
Uh-huh. I mean, I didn't know that, but... Oops, I'll leave there. So do I have to wait until these guys are...
I feel like you can, if you keep shooting the ice, you can break it, but maybe not.
Doesn't seem like it.
Maybe you do have to actually wait for them to chip you out.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because they keep reappearing. That's right. Yeah, they'll.
let me out of here. Do it! Hit that ice. Oh, come on. How the fuck am I supposed to get up here? I guess I just have to take the hit. That's kind of shitty.
You're supposed to like look up there before they like fully
Yeah.
appear.
Yeah, let me clear that off, game. Encounter! Oh, it's a banshee.
So you should use your other
Yeah.
weapon.
Can I not shoot this up?
I don't
Oh, okay.
believe
If you
so.
change direction while it's charging, it changes the direction that it's going.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, well that didn't go too well. I guess I can only shoot her in the head, must be.
Yeah, I think so. And you have to shoot the correct one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ghostbusters in a really long time. Is that supposed to be Sigourney Weaver?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's just supposed to like superficially resemble her, but it's not supposed to be Zool.
Kind of like that boss in Mega Man 3, where there are 3 clones of you and only one of them takes damage.
Yeah, Mega Man 3 is probably a better game than this, though.
It's true. Oops. I think I have one more.
I mean, I like this game, but let's not.
I'll get crazy.
Yeah, let's not.
You change colors, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I can't shoot her when she's not in the 3-headed mode. Also, the only time I can really get decent DPS in is when she's at the top.
Eric, nobody said DPS in the 80s.
It's true. Also, Mike, I'm sorry I was wrong. This game actually came out in 1990, so
No one said it in the 90s either. Respect the fiction.
If you think this game, looks cheap for a game made in 1990 but not 1989, then I guess proceed with your criticisms.
I don't know. There's just something a little off-putting about the Bill Murray sprite, but
I think that for the time it's actually a pretty good likeness, honestly, but
I think that's what freaks me out about it. It's kind of like as close to photorealistic as we could manage back then.
Damn. Ouch. Oh, man. Alright. That's it for tonight.
Well, what would you say, Eric? This game, Genesis?
It's pretty good, yeah. It's not, like, blowing my mind or anything. It's no decap attack.
What is, really? Before we
It's
go...
definitely, it's like on the upper end of the middle of the spectrum of Genesis games I've played. For being a 1990 game, it's pretty cool, for sure.
Yeah. What happened to the board, man?
I like the structure of it. I think that's pretty good. It plays okay. I have a feeling that some of the later levels would probably frustrate me with how labyrinthine they are, but I can't say for sure.
Yeah, maybe. None of them get super huge, but yeah, some of the later ones are.
I like the bosses and stuff though. It's pretty good. It plays totally fine. It's pretty simple looking. It's good.
Yeah. Y Signal says, weirdly, I first heard of the Ghostbusters because of real Ghostbusters, but I remember the movie a lot more than the show.
Man, this tracked mode AI is much worse at the game than I am. So
Yeah,
I got that going for me.
The game is terrible, which is nice.
All right. Anyway, that's it for this one.
So, all right. Well, we'll be back next week with our last Halloween installment of Genesis or Genesisn't for this year.
We will. What could it be?
Let's wait till next week to find out. But we'll be right back with something
Atari
else.
2600 Haunted House.
That's not a Genesis game,
but
nope.
Genesisn't.
That's because it's Genesisn't, exactly. That was going to be my joke.
We have to figure out if it Genesis or Genesis in a Genesis game. That'd be a fun game. Anyway, good night. Bye.
Good night.